finally, after 4 decades, and when I say 4 decades, I don't mean 4 years, and I don't mean even 14 years. I'm talking 40 years. After a 40-year long wait, we finally beat Luton Town in the league. Right, folks, back to give another match review. This time picking apart Blackburn Rovers' latest championship match up against Luton Town, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and smash the old subscribe to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We got it all here under the Macarena. That's right, of course, boys. Massive result for the grand scheme of things for Blackburn Rovers. Gets us not only ends the hoodoo, but of course gets us right back into the old playoff discussion, and of course keeps our season right on track. And of course, if you were a salesman and you wanted to showcase your portfolio to any new potential talent on transfer deadline day, maybe perhaps a left back, you could just show, guess what, we are on the cusps of course, maybe getting into the playoffs. So, of course, there's a nice little caveat for, of course, showcasing what we got on the table. But anyway, we'll talk all about that in a minute. I want a big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. The VIP gang. Oh, yeah, you know who you are. The Patreonos supporting the channel behind the scenes. Much respect to you guys. Of course, you don't have to do what you do, but you do, and I do appreciate it. So thank you so much for supporting this clown. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep and take a look at, of course, the match itself. So here we bloody go. So let's take a look at it. Let's break down the numbers that matter, and here they are. Of course, it was a big fat 1-0 for Blackburn Rovers, with Adam Armstrong scoring the one and only goal on the bloody last 5minutes.com to give Rovers a bloody to be honest, it's daylight robbery. I'm going to be honest with you, we got away with that one. To be fair, of course, Luton Town were in it. They weren't here like I expected them to be. I thought they were going to be a bit more defensive and a bit more keeping it tight at the back, parking the bus, that sort of stuff, and maybe getting us on the break. But no, they were in this game and they were a fair shout for it, and they're going to be a little bit hard done by that they come away with nothing. They did have a goal ruled out at the back end of that game, and it was a heart-in-mouth moment, I will tell you no lie. But the goal itself coming from a Lewis Holtby free kick, it was in a bit of a muddle, really. Luton Town were all over the place. They just couldn't, they were not switched on, and that's credit to Rovers taking the opportunity when they could, when Luton had the chips down, or were kind of counting up how many fingers they had on their hands. Rovers took advantage, which is fair play. And you know what, we've been bitten on our asses by many times by not being switched on, and so it just maybe it's a lesson to be learned for not only Luton Town players, but of course the shithouse manager extraordinaire Nathan Bloody Jones. So of course Holtby pinged it in, Gallagher was in the box, headed it square, and of course there was Adam Armstrong. He doesn't miss from there, even though he can miss. He doesn't miss with his head. Puts the ball in the back of the net. 5 minutes to left. I did not know it was a game over. I didn't even know it was a goal. Didn't even know it was standing. But guess what? It did, and that was the game turning a situation out in this match here. 1-0 final score. Rovers take the 3 points, and of course they we've mugged off Middlesbrough, and now we've mugged off Luton Town in back-to-back games. That is amazing, and it is a good feeling for us because we've been bitten before. We've been bitten by Forest. We've been bitten by Norwich. We got bitten by Huddersfield. We got bitten by a lot of other teams. And yes, we've not been playing the fancy pants football that we started the season with. It's been a bit more hit and miss. But one thing you can take away from today is what a performance it was from the defence. Absolutely criminal. They were when I say criminal, I mean phenomenal. That back four seems to have grown in confidence, and it's still a work in progress. You've got a Loney, that's Barry Douglas, who has been given a lot of shit since he got here. We've got a young Branthwaite, of course, had his heart ripped out with him last week with, of course, that dodgy incident with Middlesbrough. But he came back into this game, stood up to the count, said, you know what, I'm going to learn from whatever happened last week, and of course learned again. He did, with another impressive performance and another clean sheet. And of course Lennon, of course, had a shit part of the season early doors, but he looks back to his very, very best. And Nyambe, we just need to just say his name, and then we all know how amazing he is. But yeah, 1-0 was the final score for Rovers, and we'll take it to the bed. Of course, just 10 shots on the day, 2 on target. As for Luton, 7 for them, 1 on target. Possession, it was, of course, mostly favoured with Rovers, 58% compared to 42 for our opposition. We had more passes, and then we'll have a look at that in a minute. And pass accuracy was also much better. But yeah, corners, yeah, we look better on corners. Of course, Downing was on field, of course, to deliver some corners. Of course, they weren't. There was a couple of efforts that looked decent from all that, but ultimately, We got the 3 points. Will keep us in the conversation, and of course, yeah, fair play, because we've been. I hate having those long-standing runs of games where we haven't done X, Y, or Z. And Luton Town, this one was weird. I couldn't believe that we it's been so long since we beat Luton Town. But now, guess what? We've reset those clocks. Reset the blocks, all that kind of stuff, and now we go again, and hopefully now we can go X amount of years without losing to Luton Town. But anyway, that's of course just a tale of tape with the goal scores. Let's take a look at, of course, how they all panned out. We'll break down the starting lineups in a minute, but a quick overview of who scored. Kind of saw from the game. They could give Lenihan man of the match. He was in amongst those for me. There was, of course, some other real standouts for me, especially that back four was tremendous. As for Luton Town, you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play to them. To be honest with you, I thought the game was mostly won for Rovers when I saw that formation with four at the back. It didn't work out the way I was hoping. I thought with that four at the back they'd be more exposed and we were more likely to come away with a 3-0 win. But I was expecting a 3 at the back, maybe a 5 at the back, that sort of stuff. And when that's been played against us, we have struggled with a 5 or a 3 at the back from our opposition. So I thought, we were in this before even a ball was kicked. But I was proven wrong, and Luton were stern opposition, not too much shithousery going on this time around, but guess what? We will take it. We'll take the 3 points, and we do it. We'll do this win because I thought we outplayed you last time, both home and away. And I thought we also outplayed you and outfought you last time around at Kenilworth Road. So I think all fairness, we do this one. So, and I like Luton. I've got nothing but love for Luton, and I'm glad they're at this level. I think that I've witnessed them go from this level all the way down to the lower echelons in the Football League and beyond. And of course, I'm glad to see them back, and back they are. A lot of these boys have been there. Collins has been there. Who else has been there? Has Bradley been there? I think he might have been. There's a lot of guys that have been here through thick and thin, and it's a huge testament to that they're still here and still kicking on. And they are investing. They've got some really good players. I think Lockyer is an amazing pickup. I don't know if that's a permanent deal or not. I thought Dewsbury Hall's also savvy and dangerous. Of course, Mpanzu's also deadly. And of course, they've just bring up Kai Smith as well from Wigan. So they're bringing in players. They keep on investing and they keep on shaping it up. So kudos to them. Look at some of the other figures there. Possession wise, we talked about that already. Pass success rate 7% for Rovers, 62 for Luton. Total shots 10. Of course, we talked about that. Tackles, Rovers flying in 24 tackles compared to the 16. Yeah, there was a lot of loose balls in that midfield today, but. And Travis looked phenomenal, and I was quite surprised he lasted the full 90. The game-changing subs, they came out. I don't think they changed it too much, but Gallagher really stepped up to the plate. And of course, he did provide the assist, so kudos to him. Here is that starting 11 then for you. Kaminsky between sticks for Rovers. We had Douglas at left back, Branthwaite, Lennon, and Nyambi make up a back four. We had Travis, Rothwell, and Downing coming in. Of course, I think Davenport was expected to start, but of course, I think he picked up an injury. Brotherton, Armstrong, and Elliott in that midfield trio up top. And yeah, some were, of course, Armstrong got the goal, gets the highlights or the plus points, but yeah, it wasn't all that. It wasn't all plain sailing for Rovers today. Let's take a look at my match ratings. I've given Kaminsky an 8. He was tremendous today. His distribution was great. Of course, his assurance of being so solid and calm and composed at the back just gives me. It feels like we've got an extra man on the field. We didn't get to see much of his sweeper keeping today, but his composure, his level-headedness, his quick distribution it feels like an old man. Like he's been there for forever. And he's still quite a relatively young goalkeeper. So I'm happy. I'm over the moon with this signing. I think this guy has pushed us forward on himself. I think him having us in the team is ultimately going to give us a further 6 or more points at the end of the season, which hopefully will be good enough to get in the top 6. Douglas again is starting to turn a massive corner. It's like turning a barge round. It took forever for him to really settle down into Rovers, but the past 3 or 4 games I thought he's been class, and he's showing his composure, his experience, which we need at the back, especially when you're partnering him sort of at the back, at the left side of defence there with Branthwaite, a youngster, having the experience of Douglas there and Branthwaite together. I think that's a good thing. He's kind of sandwiched in there, cheeky, sandwiched in between Lenihan and Douglas. They're two kind of level-headed kind of guys. Kaminsky is a solid goalkeeper. So again, I think all those 3 guys around Branthwaite will just do him the world of good and make him a better defender. As for Nyambi, we just need him to sign the bloody contract, mate. Sign the bloody contract. Branthwaite with an 8, again, stepped up, made some really deadly last-minute.com challenges and saved the day, as did Leonard. Commanding performance, like like what I get excited about him in the best. I love Darren Lennon, but he was a bit shit earlier in the season, and I was open to a good offer for him. But right now I'm thinking, screw that shit. Let's keep this back four in flipping bubble wrap, and let's not get him injured. Of course, Naomi with a 7, I thought he was the worst of the 4, but that's he only always gets a 7. Oh, I think I gave him a 6 once. Of course, into the midfield trio, Travis was brilliant. I thought he broke down a lot of stuff. I was very nervous that he was going to get sent off. But of course, yeah, I think these 6 personnel was what won the game right here. The rest were kind of a bit hot and cold. But Travis was good, broke down things. He was actually quite dynamic moving forward as well, which was good to see. Rothwell didn't really get into the game, giving him a 6. Downing was also hot and cold, but again, his level-headedness in that midfield, and of course his vision was a blessing to have, and not a curse. As for Brereton, he was shite, and I'm going to give him a pass on this one, because you know what, it's fine. The game was won. If we'd lost the game or drew it, then I'll be looking at you 3 up there to get the goals. Unfortunately, this fella here, Armstrong, got the goal, and he was a bit shit as well today, and I thought he would have. Hopefully, that goal will give him the belief that he's back to his best. Of course, it wasn't one with his feet. He had a glorious opportunity to put us in front with a shot with his feet, but he blew that as well. And Elliott wasn't his best either. So, but again, he was pulled at 60 minutes, so he couldn't really get into it. Of course, let's take a look at the opposition then. Slug, whoa, slug up between sticks with Potts, Bradley, Lockyer, and Pearson. As much as I don't like Bradley's tats, he's a decent defender, and Lockyer's a great pickup. I like it. Clark on the left, Connick on the right. Dewsbury Hall was savvy. He knows what to do with the ball, and Panzer as well had a couple of good opportunities, and Rhea as well. Collins up top didn't really have too many opportunities, but of course he's always there. He's always sniffing around, and he can always pull the trigger whenever you least expect it. Let's take a look at, of course, the shot maps and all that kind of stuff right here. Rovers are the orange. I think, if my mouse deceives me, this was Tyree Stolen, or one of these was Tyree Stolen. They should have put it to bed. I think one of these was Armstrong, or maybe it was like a shocker, an absolute shocker. Luton with the Blues. Couple, look down here, down the saves. Where's the saves? Shots on target, 2. It must be 2 saves then, really, or 1 save. Blocked, and look at that. That's a huge. That's their figure. 4 blocked by them bad boys. But all in all, saves, 1 save. But it's all about catches, and I really should have to showcase Kaminsky's. It should not go unnoticed that just how solid he was at the back there, and we need to, and it's very reassuring. David Raya was always good. We liked him, and I still like him, but he was a work in progress, and he still is, to be honest with you, a work in progress. Would I swap him back now? No, I wouldn't swap him back. Do I think we've mugged off some Belgium team? Yes, I think we have. Is he better than Christian Walton? For sure he is. I am happy with him being my number 1. Now, of course, Piers at number 2 is a youngster, and I'm hoping he will get better. But let's just keep Kaminsky in shape. What else do we have? Of course, the heat maps of your heat map man, just like me. Take a little look at that. Of course, you can see where all it was much better than the Middlesbrough game, I can tell you that for sure. A lot of touches, basically all over. Look at Luton though. Look at Luton. Fair play to Luton. They had a bit of the ball and they were all over the place, causing all kinds of problems. But now around about this left hand side it was wide open and didn't really take full advantage of it. But Rovers pretty much spread all over the pitch, which is great to see. And of course, down here, a bit of dirty work here by Douglas, it looks like. But Kaminsky, of course, on point. And looked very like the busier of the two keepers, or busier of the 2 zones. But anyway, that's just a little bit of what I think about the match. What about, of course, Tony Mowbray? What did he have to say shortly after the final whistle? Tony, take it away.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I'd have to give credit to Luton. I feel as if they no longer feel like the underdogs in this league, a team that have to scrap their way to get as many points as they can and stay up. I think they're a bit better than that these days. They give you problems. They've got good athleticism in midfield. They've got strength at the top. They're very powerful at the back. It's a tough game for anybody. I think they went to Bournemouth and won 1-0 this year, and listen, they're a well organised, well coached team, and it was a bit scrappy at times for us. We had to make some changes second half to give us a bit more energy and urgency, and eventually we got the job done. Put the 1-0 in the bag, move on. These are really tough games for anybody. And I watched midweek Middlesbrough, who we played last weekend, but then got beat 3-0 off Rotherham. Sometimes the name of the football club means nothing, because they're highly motivated teams, the Rotherhams and the Lutons of this league, and they might not long out of League One, but they are fighting and scrapping for everything they can get, and they're difficult days for any team. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I think albeit the long pass, I think Gallagher headed it back and Adam did what he does, and I think, yeah, listen, it's good. Just to win the game, put the results in the record books. We won 1-0, another clean sheet, which is brilliant for the goalie, for Lenihan, for young Branthwaite, for the full-backs. Yeah, delighted really, but I'm not delighted because we have to be better. You know, I would like to be stood here having won 4-0 and Adam smashed that one in after 2 minutes rather than getting caught inside the box and the few things, especially the first 20 minutes when I thought we were really hot. We have to score when we're on top like that because the game, they're always going to get opportunities. They're always going to pick a pass. They're going to break away. It's going to whiz across our 6-yard box. You know, right at the end there, they have an offside goal. It's, you know, that would be, if I was sitting here now 1-1, I'd be really, really frustrated and you'd be a bit down in your questioning and we'd feel a bit unhappy. But 3 points, put it in the bag, move on to the next game. I think we can always score a goal. I think, you know, whatever we think, Adam has missed some chances over the last few weeks. You know, he could have had another 10 goals, Adam Armstrong, and yet I can't complain. Adam Armstrong, if he scored 17 now, it's and he's still got, I don't know, another 19 or 20 efforts to try and get another 9 or 10 goals. It's going to take him way over 20 and up to 25 and beyond. So let's hope he just keeps getting himself in the right positions and he can keep his goal tally going along. And every time it's a 1 goal in a game for him, it's the winner that gets another 3 points. The goalie's your top goalie. You know, I've been in this game over 40 years and this is a proper goalie. This, you know, I would have to say we have got a proper goalie in the sticks, and he's a wonderful personality. He's very calming on the rest of the group. He can get angry and authoritative, as all goalkeepers do when somebody's not doing their job in front of him. I think his distribution, he's just steady, he's calm, he catches the crosses he should catch, he punches the ones he should punch, he makes the saves he should make. We're delighted with Thomas, and yeah, I feel talking to him that he's happy that he's made this move, he's come to English football. I think as a club we have to keep progressing because people like Thomas Kaminski, you won't be able to keep hold of them because people who've got decent scouting departments will be watching and they'll see. Yeah, listen, I think people get down and disappointed through whatever it was December, and yet you look all over the country, every league. Look at the massive teams in English football. Who Liverpool went 7 games with no wins. And yet, you know, it's why? Because you pick up too many injuries to a key area of the pitch that is really prevalent to what you're trying to do. You have some issues with COVID, then confidence gets knocked a bit, and then you've got a bad run of games because you're playing some of the top teams, you know, and you can have a run. It's whether you can come out the other end of it or it just keeps rolling on into 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games without a win. But every team in this league can go 2, 3, 4 games without a win, and yet for us at this moment we're finding a way to win some tight matches. Pretty hectic, I think. Listen, there's no guarantees any deal will get done. I think the closer it gets to the deadline day, I think the more likely it is, but people are trying to hold their nerves. The prices are, you're trying to do a deal and they want too much. We haven't got that much, we can't do that. We can do this, what do you think about that? No, we can't do it. Okay, we'll look somewhere else. Them is all the things that goes on. We're trying really hard. No deal is, unless you've got money, and I've always said this to you, if you've got as much money as you want, somebody says, we need this much, you just give them it and the deal's done. But that's never the way when you are trying to get deals done. We can't afford that, we'll give you this, what do you think? As I said to you there, so we're in negotiation stages for a couple of things. Let's see if they come off. If they do, great. If they don't, we'll get on with what we got.
Meanwhile, what's been going on social media? Well, let's take a little look then, shall we, over on your Twitter sphere. We're going to kick it off with Lewis Hartley. He lets me know that he wants in. He said, not the best of games, but we got the 3 points. That's all that matters. Big performance by Tommy Kay. Thought he was class. Onwards and upwards. We will love a 1-0. Shithouse win, of course we do. Adam Tatsuki said this, get in there boys, scrappy as anything, but we'll take it. We were due against Luton, need to improve our finishing and general level of play, but a win is a win. On to the next. Indeed, Mr. Nobody said massive win, finally we beat Luton, tough game but a great one. Can't believe how chilled out Branthwaite and Kaminski are. Cool for school. Steve Reese said this is what Mowbray does, 10 points from 12. There's a bit of negativity here. Saves his job again, another crap run incoming. Mowbray out, or is it? I mean, with defensive keeper unreal from Robert Adams. He says the keeper and the defence was, of course, the key to the matter. Meanwhile, Adam Hilling said this, love that, Douglas was brilliant today, but for me, it's all about the man Kaminski. What a player, what a signing. Well done, Blackburn Rovers. Dave Bannister, he said, decent win in the end, dug deep and got a scrappy win. Let's back back it up and win next week. But we all know what happens when we get close to the playoffs. Yes, we do. The helpful punter said, not sure how we won that. We were shit for most of it. 10 points out of 12 is really good, but performances need major improvement. They do need major improvement, but I would take this. If you could say we win all the next games, 6 or 7 games, 1-0, with a shit performance, I'll take that right now. Meanwhile, Harry Jacobs, short and sweet, says Mowbray in. How about Connor David? He's here with this. I've got a bit of close in on that badass. Look at that. He is the boss. There he is, the gaffer extraordinaire. Kicking off further though, Robson Green. Not that one, not the fisherman. Okay, old soldier, whatever he was in, but this one. Get in. My 12-month-old baby was fast asleep. Let's just say she wasn't when the ball hit the net. Get in. All you doubters are half time. Have some faith. It's a tough league. We go again. Stick together, he says. The one and only Deuce, of course, respect to my brother right there. I don't care how he got there. 3 points on the board against a side who have a bit of a bogey side in recent times. Another clean sheet, thanks to the big part to Douglas. Goal line clearance, but also good work from Lennon Branthwaite and Cammy. Indeed, of course, Rovers tweet said back-to-back clean sheets. Thomas Kaminsky. Yes, indeed. And there, of course, Rovers chat. Of course, with is that the Pope there holding up the old the Douglas Meister right there? Woo, glorious. Mike Delap said there's a performance that left a lot to be desired, but when your centre-backs are that rock solid, you are liable to pinch one. Fancy that. Yes, indeed. Chris Martin said, no, it wasn't pretty. No, it wasn't free-flowing football. Yes, we did miss some decent chances, but you know what? We won, and it's a big game to win, and there, we're 3 points off the playoffs, so I couldn't give a toss. That's Martin's words, not mine. So I want to do this again. Imagine Linesman getting a decision right for Rovers for a change. Love it. Rovers Leo said, like, if you see your club, and yes, indeed, I give it a big old like, because guess what? I see my club in there, and they are sitting pretty. We'll take a look at the table in just 1 second, but before then we're going to take a little look at what else went on this week in the this weekend in the championship. As you can see, there's some spangled scorelines in there. Reading smashed Bournemouth, which was part 1 of this weekend. Of course, part 1 was for Bournemouth to lose, to leave open the opportunity for Rovers to maybe get in closer to top 6. The next step was, of course, Middlesbrough to not win. And guess what? That also happened. Get in there, my veins. That's what I say. Of course, it was the home versus away derby and the home versus home. That's Birmingham against Coventry at St Andrews, and both of them technically are home. And all square. Of course it would be. Brentford left it late. It was like 2-2 for a good part of the game. They went 3-2 and then looked away, came back 7-2. Brentford, of course, smashing it. I don't want them anywhere near the playoffs, just in case we end up there. Imagine... I honestly see it as a 3-horse race for the 2 spots now between Norwich, Brentford and Swansea, and then I think the rest 3 remaining playoff spots are going to be quite a competition. So Swansea disposed of Rotherham. Of course, Rovers pissed all over Luton Town. Sheffield Wednesday smashed Dashdot over Preston. Big result for them. Still without a manager, I believe. Paul Cook said no. Mick McCarthy and his Cardiff boys took care of business against Millwall, 1-1. Huddersfield against Stoke, also 1-1. Derby, Wayne Rooney FC, of course, beat Bristol City 1-0. And Forest against Barnsley 0-0. And of course, Watford against QPR will be on Monday, which is very, very awkward. Let's take a look at the table as it stands. How you look at it? Of course, here you go. Norwich are just 4 points clear of Swansea. Good opportunity for them now. Of course, Brentford have a game in hand, win that, and it could go 3 points. That's how close it is. And then, even though Watford, Reading are still not out of the woods from top 2 just yet, and I'm sure they'll close in on them a little bit. Advantage Brentford still with a game in hand. Rovers do have a game in hand on Middlesbrough. And of course, Bournemouth are only 3 points away from Rovers at the moment. Of course, Bristol City also in that discussion as well, as are Stoke. Preston not too far away either. To be honest with you, when I look at that, I think we're about right. I think we're in a good spot right here. I don't think Bristol City are better than us. I don't think Stoke are better than us. And when you look further down, I am quite surprised Derby are down there and Forest are down there, and I'm sure they had better dreams at the start of the season, but I'll take it. I'll take where we are right now. 8th is good. I think that's not bad. What is good is our superior goal difference. That could be make or break. On the flip side, Bournemouth also have a superior goal difference as well. So they actually got +2 better than us, so that's something we're going to keep an eye on. But anyway, speaking of keeping an eye on it, Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham going down as it stands. It's still pretty tight down the bottom of the table. Of course, there's some midweek games going on. Luton are not in action, neither are Rovers. The games that we'll be keeping an eye on, I'll be keeping an eye on, will be Bournemouth against Sheffield Wednesday. Hopefully, Sheffield Wednesday proved to be stubborn opposition. Of course, Brentford against Bristol City, keeping an eye on that as well. Any surprises? Do we see any surprises here? Of course, Wycombe, Birmingham, Coventry, Forest, Rotherham, Derby. They're all relegation 6-pointers. Millwall could surprise us all with a win against them. That's midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday. How about this, though? Of course, kicking off further into the next weekend. Swansea against Norwich. There you go. That's an early kickoff. It's a weird time as well on Friday. Of course, then Coventry and Watford. That's the early kickoff on Saturday. Bristol, Cardiff. That's tough. That's a tough one. Called Middlesbrough, Brentford. Could also be tough. Barnsley, Derby. That's awkward as well. We don't know about that one. Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday, more of a relegation one. That one. Wycombe against Nottingham Forest. Again, relegation 6-pointer right there. We have Bournemouth up against Birmingham. That battle of the bees. I expect Bournemouth to win that one. We've got Stoke against Reading. Preston against Rotherham again. That's also pretty similar. And of course, Luton against Huddersfield. But of course, the game of the weekend will be Rovers going down to London to take on QP Bloody R. And that's it, my friends. That's all I've got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you are new, smash your subscribe to get me banger today with all things Blackburn Rovers related. Championship related. World football. We're going to all here under one Rooski, of course. Broken the 40-year hoodoo. Of course, I'm older than that, though. I'm older than that. So I was alive the last time they did it, but I managed to see it happen again. Rovers taking the 3 points off of Luton Town in the league. We go again, though, QPR next week. Of course, be sure to stick around on the channel. We've got a lot of live content coming at you, a lot of live prediction shows and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you stick back for that. But until then, be sure to give this video some love and smash that thumbs up, smash subscribe, and also check out the link down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, I'm all on those. I might do some streams on the old Twitch this week. There's a couple of little surprise packages I've been working on. Might be doing those if I get the time. But be sure to check out the link for Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it, though. Check it all out, patreon.com/Rovers. But until then, though, I will see you all next time. Get up there, Rovers. Happy days. Next up, the